All right, shalom. Shalom to the elect of Yahshua. Shalom to the other men, women, and children of our nation who YAHAWAH Yahawashi is going to have mercy upon on in the times we're coming into. Shalom to all of you. Shema Yahshua Yahawah NAWA YAHAWAH He. Shema Yahshua Yahawah NAWA YAHAWAH He. Shema Yahshua Yahawah NAWA YAHAWAH He. BARAK Yahawah, BARAK YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QaDash Holy, NAWA, NAWA, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QaDash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone, and much due respect to the sincere Akim who are laboring works. Shalom to you believers, to the Akim Wa'akwat, which will be your brothers, and few amount of sincere sisters who do subscribe to this truth. All right. And the wild of YAHWASHI Yahushai, QaDash. Abarazza, today's lesson is edifying, plain upon the table, straight to the point. Shalom, YAHWASHI Yahushai, Barakatah. Shalom to the brother Ash out there, Toronto, Canada, man. All right. Hopefully you're doing good out there, Malak. So today's topic, World War III will be fulfilled / more seditions among men. Shalom, YAHWASHI Yahushai, Barakatah. I got 2 clips, and then I got some more stuff I want to present to you. I'm gonna play these 2 first. The first one is 2 minutes 11 seconds. The other one is 1 minute and 6 seconds long. It's going into World War III, hidden rumors of wars, right? Head wars and rumors of wars, World War III, right? Let's see.
Begin this morning with China's military conducting aerial and naval blockade drills around Taiwan on its last scheduled day of exercises. At least 70 Chinese warplanes and 11 warships were spotted just today. Here's what Taiwan's foreign minister told Fox News about these drills yesterday. Watch.
If you look at the sorties of the Chinese Air Force, together with the ships that are coming very close to Taiwan, and any accident might spark an uncontrollable war in between Taiwan and China. And if other countries are trying to intervene, it might be the start of a war of a grand scale.
All of this following House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's meeting with Taiwan's president in California last week. Joining me right now is the Gatestone Institute Senior Fellow and author of The Coming Collapse of China, as well as The Great U.S.-China Tech War. Gordon Chang is with us this morning. Gordon, great to see you. Thanks so much for weighing in here.
Well, thank you, Maria.
You know, how would you assess China's response to all of this? First, there was a lot of huff and puff about we're going to come back with a retaliation for Kevin McCarthy's meeting with the president and the House lawmakers actually going to Taiwan, meeting the vice president there. And yet, what did we get? We see these drills around Taiwan. How would you assess this response?
Yeah, these drills resemble those that China conducted after Speaker Pelosi went to Taiwan in August. The real issue here, though, is you've got 2 militaries, the American and the Chinese, operating in close proximity to each other, and anything can happen. You know, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, says that war is not imminent, and I can understand his argument. But when you have China engaging in dangerous intercepts of the U.S. and other militaries in the region, anything can happen. And we have a military that is not prepared to deal with probable scenarios. You know, General Mike Minahan, in that January 27th leaked memo, talked about war with China in 2025. Well, you know, it could very well be before then.
You heard that? It could likely be before that. All right. Let me get another clip.
China completely surrounds Taiwan for the second time in history. The first was when Nancy Pelosi visited, and they were very upset. Now they're just saying they're drills, but just like Russia pre-Ukraine war, they said they were drills. What will be the consequences if they actually invade? The U.S. will probably back Taiwan, but I don't think the U.S. can support two proxy wars at the same time, so it will be less popular than the Ukraine war. And if we do support it, the fallout and trade will be astronomical because goods from China will not reach the U.S., prices for products will skyrocket, and inflation will reach new levels in the United States. The United States doesn't make anything anymore, and to transition those factories to India and Vietnam, you just can't do that in the middle of the night. And during COVID, we saw this with masks. We still can't produce masks in this country. So watch out for this. And if you're interested in getting permanent residencies and second citizenships outside the United States, follow me, the Bitcoin Capitalist.
All right, I'm gonna present some of these screenshots that I have. All right, so this one is from RT News, from Ambassador of News. Russia and the United States are in hot conflict. Hot conflict. Okay. All right, this is all biblical prophecies, man. All right. Let's see. All right. So from American Military News, I got two screenshots. It says retired Navy SEAL Democrats, moral decay, driving down military recruitment. Yeah, the military is doing really bad on keeping their numbers, right, man body, and they're also doing a hard time. They're really looking really bad on recruiting. Okay, and at some point, it's going to lead to having America to do a what do you call a selective service, right? Another draft. 77% of young Americans too fat. It's true. Mentally ill. True. On drugs and more to join military. Pentagon study finds. Yeah. Most of the people that you see enlisting or that's already in the military are either these right here. Speaking from experience, you got a lot of people in the military that's fat as hell, mentally ill, on drugs, alcoholics, and the list goes on, man. That's why the military is having a hard time keeping the numbers that they got and a hard time trying to make up lost numbers. That's eventually going to lead to World War III, where these damn devils are going to have to start recruiting people. All right, men, women here in America that's of able body. All right, it's two clips I want to get for y'all very quick. Got from the brother Ambassador of News. It's about like the seditions among men. Let me open that up very quick. Open it up. All right. Bear with me, BAHASHAM. Seen from the brother over here somewhere. Hold on. Bear with me. Here we go. Already got that one. There's a sedition among men one. I think in Iran. Here we go. Alrighty. Let's play this right quick. All right, so let's play another one. pretty much just from another angle. You got the marching down the street. All right, you see there. All right, the seditions among men, not regarded kings and princes, are becoming much more, let's say, deadly. They're actually using deadly force. Real soon, it's not just going to be hitting these police officers' vehicles. They're going to be hitting them, trying to put them on fire. Okay, trying to harm them. It says our wars today too. From Irish, okay, Irish masked youth attack a British Northern Ireland police Land Rover. So you get the point here, okay? You got the people going against the people. All right, the people against the people. All right, so let's get that right quick. Let's get these scriptures right quick. Get that book of Matthew right quick. Let's see. Matthew chapter 24, verses 20. Shalakia. The book of Matthew chapter 24, verses 6 to 8. The point is in 6 though, but I just get from 6 to 8. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So all these things needs to come to pass. Like what? For an example, verse 7, right? And the end is not yet. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, right? Hunger, starvation, and pestilences, diseases, viruses, epidemics, pandemics, black deaths, bubonic plagues, you name it. Lockdowns, right? Because that's going to come with the epidemic and pandemics. And earthquakes in diverse places, so-called natural disasters in many parts of the world. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So we're in the beginning of sorrows, because we're definitely seeing that we're in a time of war. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8, a time to love, a time of hate, a time of peace, a time of war. Just paraphrasing, we're in a time of war because we're seeing how we're hearing a lot more of wars and rumors of wars. Okay, let's get that right quick. I like how it mentions threats of wars in the NLT. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, in the New Living Translation. It says, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. Okay, and in the GNT version, I like how it says I hear wars from afar and wars from close by, something along that line. Because we're constantly hearing rumors of wars, right? Wars from a distance, from afar. And let's see, I think it said close by too. In a Good News translation, it says you are going to hear the noises of battle close by. All right. And the battles, Salaki, and the news of battles far away. So are we not constantly hearing about many news of battles far away? And real soon we're going to start hearing a lot more of noises of battles close by here in America, man. All right. You're going to hear more about battles when the draft is mandatory, civil war out here, seditions among men, all hell breaking loose out here. All right. In the KJV, right, nations will rise against nations. We're seeing that. You got a group of people that's rising against other people. You got actual nations rise against nations, like Russia and Ukraine, for an example. Was it China wants to invade Taiwan? You know, China wants to rise against Taiwan, and the list goes on, man. All right. Let's see. Revelation 11-14. Let me definitely get that. All right. So the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. the second woe is past, right? World War II is past. And behold, right, look, the third woe cometh quickly, right? World War III cometh quickly. Right now, we're in the stages of hearing battles from afar, battles from a close distance, hearing wars and rumors of wars, threats of wars, right? Real soon, World War III will pop off. We're literally going to see a world war happen all over again. It's going to be worldwide, okay? And America will be involved in it, all right? And America will get jumped, all right? America will get jumped in this upcoming war. A lot of nations are going to turn their backs against America, and those that's fighting for America too, they're going to turn against you. Let's get to Habakkuk 2 and 3 very quick. Because even though we keep talking about this, right? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. It says, and the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI answered me and said, write the vision, right? The prophecy that came from YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI, so this man can write it down. So we can read it later on in the future, which is today, so we can prophesy to the people. Write the vision and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right. So the point about this, about these lessons, as a prophet, a teacher of YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI, you want to make the vision plain upon the tables. You know, make it very simple, so the next can run with it. All right. Can digest it, use it, apply it to the day-to-day walks. Use it to teach it if he's a teacher. Make it plain upon the table so that he may run with it. Verse 3, for the vision, right? The prophecy. So for an example, World War III literally popping off. Sedition among men is now deadly now. They're not just kicking cars and breaking windows now. They're actually killing people now. All right. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So even though it feels like these visions, World War III, the draft, sedition among men, even though it feels like we talk about it so much, it's not happening right now yet. The way how soon the people decide how soon the people want to see it, right? It's because these visions is yet for no point in time. Even though it feels like it's postponing, it's tarrying, it's taking a long time, it's not. At the end it shall speak, it shall not tarry, because it's set from no point in time. World War III that cometh quickly is a vision that's set for in that point in time. All right. And when this war does happen, you got the sedition among men, hell breaking loose, civil war, race wars, riot wars, the draft, World War III. A lot of women are going to become headless. Okay. Let's see. All right. So the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 49. And then I'm gonna get a precept for it. For widowhood as one of the plagues. I'm gonna get 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 33, 34. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. Right? So widowhood, right? This is an example of the plague, the widowhood that's going to come upon you women, especially here in America. 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verses 33 to 34. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. So there's going to be a lot of young women out there that's going to be mourning, not having no bridegrooms. And women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. So this goes to you women, especially the Israelite women, started with the so-called black women. This is going to come upon a lot of women here in America, all over the world, but especially here in America, A lot of you women are not going to have husbands in the times of famine, destruction, World War III, Civil War, the draft, the hour temptation, Jacob's trouble, the day of the Lord's wrath, right? A lot of women are going to be mourning, crying, seeking, hoping that she has a man. Because guess what? In verse 34, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine, shall perish of hunger, starvation. So a lot of women are going to lose their men, their husband, their baby daddies, they their side pieces, right? In World War III, the war that's going to take place over in the valley of YAHAWASHI, Yahweh's judgment, right? The book of Joel, chapter 3, I think verse 9 to 12, it goes into that. The valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of YAHAWASHI, where a lot of people are going to die when they're fighting in the Middle East area. And you're going to have a lot of women whose husbands are going to die out there. A lot of you women are going to die out there too. All right? A lot of you Israelite women are going to die out there overseas in battle. All right? But the point I want to get out of here, verse 33, a lot of women are going to mourn that having no husbands when World War III takes place, when the draft takes place. All hell breaking loose out here in America. All right? Let's see. Let me see what the brother's got up here. Okay, yeah, the brother got it. All right. So it's from the brother Chasad 144. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. The book of Joel, chapter 3, verses 9 to 10. Let me get the other two right quick. Verses 11 and 12. Let me get that right quick. All right, so the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9 and 10 from the brother, and then I'm going to get 11 and 12 from the book. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, the actual heathens, right? The Gavayim. Prepare war and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Right? So the mighty men, right, these troops, these armies, these other nations, all right, are in the spirit of war. They're being prepared for war. World War III. Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So all these other nations who was once weak are now saying, I am strong. That's why you're seeing a lot of these nations constantly preparing overtime, doing military drills, warlike drills, whether it's in the skies, whether it's in the, on land, on water, or in water, deep in space. You got something called Space Force now, right? Constantly beefing up their nuclear system, okay? Not willing to invest and comfort things for the people, like food, supplies. They're willing to let their people starve. They're willing to let their people go through misery while they're constantly upgrading their military. Okay, that's all these other nations all about right now, man. War. Because it's biblical. Verses 11 and 12. Assemble yourselves and come ye, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh Bashem. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? The valley of YAHAWASHI. For there, right, in that area, the valley of YAHAWASHI, for there will I set to judge all the heathen round about. So that's where a lot of people are going to die at. Even a portion of 2/3 of our nations that's going to end up over there in the valley of YAHAWASHI, so they can get judged by YAHWASHI, because a lot of you Israelites are likened onto a heathen up here in your mind, because you don't want to be a Hebrew Israelite. You don't want to walk in the ways that will make you holy, right? Set apart from the ways of this world. So you're going to walk in the ways of a heathen. So your heathen ass is going to be out there too in the valley of YAHWASHI, right? Men and women, black women, Hispanic women, Latina women, Native American Indian women. As wicked as hell. Your ass going out there soon too. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, let's see. Let's see what the brother got right quick. Hold on. Oh, Kanye, let's get that one right quick. I'm gonna end it with that one. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna end it with that one. And Shalom, Malak, Yahweh, Bashmel, Shah, Barakatah. I'm gonna end it with this. All right, so the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 17 to 22 in the Good News Translation. And the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, says, I am stirring up the Medes, which would be Russia today, the Russians, to attack Babylon, which is America. Right, so our power is constantly putting the spirit on the Medes, right? The Russians are constantly being the spirit of wanting to go to war against America, Babylon, right? Stirring up, right? Verse 18, with their bows and arrows, so their nukes, their missiles, right? Russians, the Russian missiles, ICBMs, they will kill the young men. They will show no mercy to babies and take no pity on children. So when Russia starts sending out those missiles over here to America, those bows and arrows, all right, through the spirit of YAHWH, they're not going to give a damn about the young men, women, and children, how much of a newborn the child is, what gender it is, what's its belief. They don't give a fuck. They're going to shoot this place. And whoever is here, all right? Men, women, children, young, old, maids, you name it. All right? Dogs, cats, pigeons, they don't give a damn. The Medes don't care. All right? It says, with their bows and arrows, they will kill the young men. They will show no mercy to babies and take no pity on children. Babylonia is the most beautiful kingdom of all. It is the pride of its people. But I, the Lord YAHWH, will overthrow Babylon, which is America, as I did Sodom and Gomorrah. So our power is going to do unto Egypt all over again. He's going to visit modern day Egypt again, which is America, and one of those prophetic events that he's going to bring upon America is something that he did to Sodom and Gomorrah in the past, which is what? Rain and fire and brimstone from the heavens, of how rainbow, sweet, wicked it was in Sodom. All right, and America is Sodom and Gomorrah all over again, man. All right, just look around you. You see it. Transformers, almost every block you go to, man. A bunch of dudes disguised as dudes playing the dude, man. That's America for you. Those modern day fire and brimstone that happened on Sodom and Gomorrah is going to be that lake of fire, that thermonuclear destruction from the missiles, from the chariots of YAHWH, the so-called UFOs, added more fire and destruction onto America. All right. Let's see. You know what? Let me get this. I'll end it with this one. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 15, in the New Living Translation. Verse 15, there is war outside the city, and disease and famine within it. All right, those are times we're coming into. Just bad times all over this place, man. Cities in this war outside of cities, diseases and famine within, newly created creatures, people being hungry, people starving to death, people eating people, right? You name it. There is war outside the city, and disease and famine within. Those outside the city walls will be killed by enemy swords. So those who are outside the city walls, you're going to be killed by the enemy's weapons, whether it's an actual sword or some form of firearm, whether it's a Glock, minigun, 240, AK-47, Smith & West, you name it, right? Those outside the city will die of famine and disease, so there's no escape. Yahshua, repent to YAHAWASHI or perish, right? Or get caught up in the war, get caught up in the valley of Yahawashi, right? Get caught up in the streets when all hell breaking loose, and someone hit you with a cocktail and put your ass on fire, like they did to the vehicle over there in Irish. I think it was the Irish, right? The Irish. Let's see. I know I keep saying one more, but let me get one more. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's get this. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 8 through 10, the Good News Translation. For verse 8, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. People of Israel, people of Yahshua, right? So the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, Native American Indians, speckled birds, men, women, right? Children. Men and women run away from Babylon. Leave the country, not physically. Don't do that. All right? Don't. Doesn't matter where you go, you're still under the curse. All right? You're still going to get judged by Yahweh if you don't repent. All right? But how do you do this? You do it spiritually. Change the way how you think. All right? Change the way how you think. And, and start to walk in the ways of being holy. Like the scripture, it said, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Right? This is how you depart. Spiritually, mentally, right? You stop being conformed onto the ways of this world and be more conformed onto the likings of Yahawashi Mashiach. All right, that's how you actually leave this place, people of Israel. Verse 9, the MSG. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm rallying a host of nations against Babylon. Yep. It says, they'll come out of the north, attack and take her. Oh, they know how to fight these armies. Ooh, they know how to fight these armies. Verse 10 in the same version, MSG. They never come home empty-handed. Babylon is ripe for picking. All her plunders will fill their bellies. Well, Yahawashi decree. All right, so the time's gonna come when this place gonna get ransacked. All right, it was like that movie. Was it Red Dawn? Right, Red Dawn. This place got visited like a thief in the night in broad daylight. All right, and they just start taking over cities, just start ransacking America, man. And that's the time they're coming into, man. This place is probably already being invaded. We just don't know it yet. It's being prepared right before our eyes. All right. Now you're good, Malak. You good? But I'm going to close out, though. That's all I got to bring up for today's scriptures, man. Oh, you know what? Since we talk about the sedition among men, let me actually get that, Salak. Yeah, let me get that. And then I'm going to end it with that. All right. So the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verses 14 through 19. But I'm going to get it in the G&T. It pretty much breaks it down. Very plain. The world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. What's that war? Civil war, race war, dry wars, World War III, right? There's wars upon war, man. But especially the third war that coming quickly, World War III and Civil War. And the war that's gonna and the war against Yahawashi and the angels, right? One realm against another, right? Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. So other people are going to be arming themselves with weapons, some form of instrument of death, and they go to fight against other nations, other people, right? Whether it's World War III or Civil War, right? For example, verse 16, there will be great political turmoil. There's a lot of political turmoils on earth right now, right? With one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government, right? So the people, there shall be seditions among men, right? There shall be seditions among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings or princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So you saw in that video, in that clip, you got the people here going, oh, I didn't even share it, my bad. My bad, sure. Oh, let me go back real quick. You got these people just running up to a British police vehicle, and they're just hitting it with those, I keep forgetting the names of those, like those cocktails, like those glass bottles with like something flammable, and that shall burn up. Yeah. Real soon, it's not going to be the people throwing it at cars. It's going to be throwing it at the kings and princes, throwing it at people. Imagine what you're seeing here, right? What they doing, but they're trying to do this against the men of the Lord. The great insurrection. Men and women and children that fears YAHAWASHI. All right? All right, so verse 16, right? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings or princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right? So, while you have great political turmoil that's taking place at the other nations, right? You got one group trying to overpower another while ignoring the legitimate government, right? This is an example. I expect to see it something like this worse in the times we're coming into, man. All right, and the times we're coming into, especially here in America, because the level of pride here, right? The level of pride here. That's why the cities are going to be troubled. And the scripture goes into that too. Verse 17, there will no longer be free access to the cities. It's going to be lockdowns, chaos upon chaos upon chaos, that people and women are going to be afraid to even step outside. They're going to be trying to lock themselves home. All right. There will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Driven by famine, right? So driven by hunger, starvation, and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. So that's the times we're coming into, man. Expect to see a lot more uproars of the people. Expect to see a lot more of the love of many to wax cold. More talk about World War III. America is now meeting up numbers so they can be able to have like a strong military. So at some point they're going to have to do a draft, men and women who are able bodies. All right, probably as young as 18, 17, all the way up to like probably like 55, 60, 65. I don't know. All right, men and women. All right. So Albert Ross's the lesson was edifying, playing upon the tables. Albert Ross's you learned something. All right. So I'm going to close out by giving the much due all phrases, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, HAQADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone, and much due respect to the sincere Akim who are laboring works. Shalom to you believers, to the Akim Wa'akwa, which be brothers and few amount of sincere sisters who do subscribe to the truth. DTA, Abad, Babal, Soon, Kwam Yashala, the Wad for tuning in, the Wad for the precepts, Akim, Yahawah Shai Brakatah, Yahawah BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, Barukusha, 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 Barukusha. Shalak Rayum, Wa Ainasham, Wa Abadium, Wa Haragium, Wa Mashapayum, Al Kal Adawamium, Wa Gawayum, Yavya, NAWA, Babakasha, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, the WADA AMA. So